Hi and welcome to this video. So in this video today, I want to talk about something that came up in one of our live calls today. And it's a very interesting topic. I think I suffered from this problem, or not suffered, but I struggled with this situation, with that topic that we talk about today. And I also know that a lot of composers, simply by listening to their music, also have problems when it comes to this following problem. So let's get into this. What I'm trying to address here is when it comes to trailer music, specifically epic trailer music, and you try to get into this high dynamic range part towards the end, right? Where you just have to, build up and create the excitement, the tension, where you get to that climax and where it's all moving to the end, where stuff is exploding and so on, that a lot of composers, and again, I'm including myself, have the problem that as soon as they want to change something on the track because they want to make it interesting, or you feel like it has to go somewhere, right? You just want to set yourself apart from the crowd out there. You just want to create something special. Whenever we try to do that, our track suffers from the problem that you can't get it loud enough towards the end. And a simple reason, and we don't need any practical examples in this, I just want to talk about this topic here. And the main problem why this happens is because we try to ignore a lot of information that we already have available. I'm talking about musical information, music theory, the melody, ostinatos, a groove, a percussion, or an orchestral arrangement. And then we try to come up with new stuff because we want to turn this track completely somewhere else. We just try to make it special. And then we fail because we add so much stuff that there is, let's call it a clutter happening in the frequencies. So let's think about this, and I compare the frequency spectrum with kind of like a garage with a storage room. So you have lots of boxes. Let's say there is a 4x4 boxes just fit in the room, and then you can, if they are all nice and tidy, sorted out and clean, you get like as many boxes into this room. Somebody entering this room saying like, yeah, this looks kind of cool, I can work with that. Let's assume this is Mr. Compressor or Mr. Limiter. I'd say like, that looks cool, I can work with that. But if we try to put too much new stuff into this, that is based not on the information, and you see already where this video is going, that is not based on the information that we already have available, there will be eventually stuff sticking out of a box, or a box will just open because you can't really close it. So that means you have trouble putting another box on top or next to it and so on. And you get less stuff in the room, first of all, and then it looks a little bit more cluttered. And then, Mr. Compressor or Mr. Limiter is just entering the room saying like, no, I really can't, quite grab what is going on here. I have trouble processing all of this. So the solution is pretty simple. When you get into a problem like this, that you can't make your track loud enough at the end, you want to realize that in your main theme or your main melody or the main rhythm that you already established, right, that you have arranged, that you created, there is all the information that you need to continue writing this track. And there is, of course, nothing wrong. There is no written rule that you shouldn't include new stuff. You can do that. But my suggestion, and also out of experience, is that you want to base this new stuff that you want to get into your composition, that you base that and focus a little bit on what did you do already. So for example, when it comes to a percussion arrangement, you have a specific set of accents already available, right? This could be any groove, but there are some heavy accents in your groove. So you can use that for a new melody that you put in to just base the rhythm of this melody on this drum groove. Of course, you have a specific drum groove percussion arrangement and you want to make it even bigger. You don't need to invent more stuff. Just put like more layers of drums by, putting emphasis onto the the accents, and also try to come up with little lines in between that are a little bit, faster and lighter, smaller drums, but maybe kind of like connect the accents or try to find gaps, what you could improve, where some stuff is still fitting in, so you're not cluttering the entire, let's say, percussion ensemble. The same applies to melodies. If you, for example, have a long, let's say a long and epic horn melody, you have maybe a few whole notes, a few half notes in that in this melody going on. So you can use the space and then combine it with the theoretical information that is happening in the drum groove and create, for example, a low brass melody, trombone melody that plays against the French horn melody, but not disturbing when the action happens in the horn melody. So for example, to make this more clear, you're having a part in the horn melody where you have like one bar that is just like one long note. Then in between that time, you have the French horn melody just literally playing just one long note. You have the rhythm going on, so you can focus with your trombones, with the low brass in general, on the rhythm and create kind of like a little counter melody. That may sound a little bit more interesting, where you put some variation in it, but it's not disturbing the rhythm itself because you're just placing your melody, your trombone musical line, your phrase on that pattern of the rhythm, but you're also creating, or you know that your French horn's leaving space and that you can use now for the trombones. Let's say there is another part where you have a French horn and a trombone also leaving space. You have some space for the trumpets, right? If you want to include these. So there's a variety of things that you can do to, kind of like make sure that your track gets louder and louder towards the end. But all you have to do is not focus on writing too much new information to create this frequency clutter, but looking back into the track and saying like, okay, I have this groove, I have these accents, I can work with these accents, I can develop these accents into something else. I have like a specific string ostinato, for example, I can put more emphasis on this, or can put like a variation on it. You can also look where is space. You have high ostinato strings, you have low a trombone, low brass arrangement. Then you have the French horns where there is more space happening in between these arrangements already. What can you fill? But then again, look forward. Okay, what are the French horns doing? What are the trombones doing? What is the rhythm of your percussion arrangement doing? And use the information that you already have and just continue working with that. Because in a sense, we as composers, specifically trailer music composers, we try to tell a little story in these 2 minutes 30, that is the average length of a track. What we do very often, when I say I, call myself guilty too, when I did this like probably a few thousand times, to just start and trying to put too much into the story, and so much that it's completely changing the subject. So first of all, we have been in a sci-fi setting, then, I'm not talking about musical elements like synth or something like this, but suddenly we have this kind of like sci-fi story, dystopian times or whatever going on, in the style of iRobot, and suddenly we are in a medieval battle movie, because we try to change so much of the musical story that we're doing. We try to put so much new stuff. We kind of like forget who our main characters or what was the main setting of the track, right? So that would be my suggestion. It's easy to practice, but it needs practice. If you have, and I always say that, if you have a melody, if you have an arrangement of 8 to 16 bars and you have rhythm going on, you have accents going on, you have a specific chord progression, for example, going on, you have specific patterns, ostinatos, and they are working fine with each other, you basically have all the information available already that you need to write the rest of the track. No matter if you change chord progressions, if you keep the rhythm, if you just improve that rhythm, right? Rather than thinking, oh, I'm going to come up with something completely new. you have all the information available in 4, 8, or 16 bars that you need for the rest of the track. And that's why I also would, or always would suggest to start working with a main theme. So basically with round about 1 to 2 minutes, 1:32 minutes of the track, and then work your way backwards towards the intro. Because it's it's always easier to take away information rather than add more and more and more, because you have to remember there is nothing past 0 dB. You can't go to 1 or 2 or 3, right? It's simply not possible. There's the ceiling. You just have so much headroom. So better to start writing and fire away all or most of the headroom that you have available, and then make sure, okay, I have a little bit of fuel left for the very ending, for the climax and everything. But then it's also easier to work your way backwards towards the intro, because as I said before, muting stuff, taking stuff away is always easier. If you are at headroom like minus 1 dB, right? And then try to add like 10, 20 more layers, you're getting in trouble. So it's always better to start a little bit more with that, exciting feeling that you also also have these emotions connected to that track that you're writing. You just want to bring it over the top, and you have this energy when writing, and you feel great when writing it. It's always a little bit easier that okay, this is almost towards the ending of the track. So that would be my advice for you. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to let me know. Also, I should mention that I have my Audio Artist Rise program, where I'm available 6 hours per week live on a Zoom call, where you can jump in. And if you are interested, I'm leaving the link down below. You can join anytime. It's a 7-day free trial. And if you're interested, check out the link in the video description. And also, if you have questions here, I'm always happy to answer your comments. That's it for now. Have a great week. Thanks, take care, and see you in the next video.